What is up, mob? How we doing? So Joe Shimoda had a perfect day. Went 1-1, but it wasn't completely perfect. Hayden Deegan had the worst day that he's had in a long time, but I don't think it was really that bad. When I break down what happened, how bad that injury is, I think you'll agree with me that it was actually a decent day. And I have to thank the Cooksey mob. We are making an impact, and I'll go into that. And the promoters are watching. They hear you guys, they see you guys, and they know, okay, well, they're starting to make an impact. If you haven't tried Nano-Extreme and you got some aches and pains, especially all you guys walking around at Redbud, your feet are probably killing you. Nano-Extreme, I put some on the bottom of my feet. It gets a little warm, especially on the bottoms of your feet, but boy, it sure helps out, man. At night, when you go to bed afterward, your feet feel so much better. Head over to Nano-Extreme, use code Cooksey and get free shipping. And there's no way around riding in the heat, whether you're going to Loretta's, Redbud, or wherever. And if you want to know how to get your body ready for a long, hot day, do a 30-minute consultation with Coach Rob. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code and let Coach advise you on how to deal with these hot days. Speaking of hot days, you're not going to want to wear some real heavy equipment in the summer. Head over to Alias MX and get their 25.5 gear. It's light. It's designed to keep you cool in the summertime. It looks cool, it's high quality, and it's going to sell out. So head over to Alias MX and get your gear. And I don't have the details yet, but my buddy AJ from AJ Writes Crypto is giving away Teslas. Not just one. He already gave away one. He's giving away like 3 more. But head over to AJ Writes Crypto. I'll have all the details here coming up this month. I'm going to run the promotion for him all this month, giving away a Tesla.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Before I get into this, I want to give a special shout out to the Giles family. I met them when I was in Thailand last year. What a great family. But Brian Giles had an impressive performance riding for Great Britain in the FIM Junior Motocross Championship. I looked at the overall and it didn't have him in second, but I don't know. They sent me a picture. I had a picture of him on the podium with the silver wreath. So I don't know the details, but I will tell you this about Brian Giles. Remember that name. This kid is a special talent. He does those little things that you can't teach on the bike. He finds lines. Him and his family are working really hard to have a career in motocross. I'm telling you, remember the name Brian Giles. And it was really strange being that he lives in Thailand, he's half Thai, and he is riding for Great Britain. There's some politics behind that. They are a victim of true racism. Yeah, true racism, not fake racism, not any of this crap that we have over here. He is banned from racing in the Thai series, and the Thais will not embrace him to represent their country because he's only half Thai. They call him half-breed, and they banned him from the races. Now, that is true racism, but I'm so happy that he's overcoming. Great Britain has welcomed him in, had them on their team, and good on them and good on the Giles family. You have a special star, and I really hope Thailand learns to embrace this kid because they do love that country a lot. And he does represent Thailand proudly, but they need to accept him. So all you people in the Thailand motocross community, please let the promoter know Brian Giles is our guy. Let him stop with this weird racism, calling him a half-breed. Let him be a part. Let him carry the torch for you guys because he's going a long way. How about Joe Shimoda? Smoking Joe went out there and had himself a 1-1 day. That is not easy to do in any form of racing, anywhere and anything, to have a 1-1. And to do it at Redbud, damn, good for Joe. It couldn't happen to a better guy. This is a guy who's had an incredibly difficult season, and none of it was his fault. He got hit with a pit board after coming out strong. The big knock on Joe Shimoda was he couldn't start fast early and he come on at the end. So he wins the opener and then gets hit with a pit board. And then there's all the off-track drama that the Lawrences had created for him. They made it miserable in that truck because he waited to see what information came out about Lucas Myrtle. He held on for a long time before he finally dropped Lucas due to the pressure. I mean, he had to. There was nothing else he could do. And it's not because Lucas is guilty. It's because he needs to continue his career, and his results weren't where they needed to be to get a ride for next year. He might have already signed with Kawasaki to go Pro Circuit Kawasaki, but I'll tell you what, after that performance, I'm guessing Honda, in all these contracts, they have like a clause, like a right of first refusal they almost never use it. So if he has signed with Kawasaki, I'll bet you the guys at Honda are like, you know what? We're going to match that right of first refusal and bring Joe back. The question is, does he really want to be around that toxic Lawrence camp? Have they lightened up? Can they create a better atmosphere? Because everybody at Honda loves Joe, but you can't have him in there with the Lawrences muddying things up. Anyway, Joe Shimoda, like I said, he is one of the most loyal, genuine, and good people in this sport. And we don't have a ton. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of scumbags in this sport. The majority of the motocross community are good people, but up near the top there gets to be some real dirtbags. And I'll tell you what, Joe Shimoda is not one of them. I look at Joe Shimoda, and that's somebody, if he were my son, or I could look at him as a role model, that's somebody I would pick. And he is more talented than he gets credit for. I'll tell you what, he is by far the best Japanese rider ever, and it would be a shame. Could you imagine the dishonor it would bring back in Japan if Honda lets this kid go? So don't be surprised if Honda ponies up and gets him back on that team for next year, even though I'm pretty sure he has signed that contract with Pro Circuit, or at least an intent to sign. Great job, Joe Shimoda. You deserve that. Wow, Hayden Deegan, that was a tough day. He had no business going out there and qualifying and riding like a madman, but he's trying to prove that he's the next guy. And with all that social media back and forth with him and Jet, he's racing against a ghost out there. He's not just trying to beat the 250 guys. He's trying to make a statement, and it bit him. As much as Hayden Deegan wants to take on Lawrence and prove everybody that he's the next guy, he needs to just win this championship. That's all he needs to do. His leg injury is probably worse than what they're leading on. I'm telling you what, when somebody as tough as Hayden Deegan limps like that and lays down there, this is not a baby. This is not a guy who's dramatic when it comes to injuries. This guy sucks it up. For him to limp like that leaves me wondering, is there something worse wrong with that leg? They did an x-ray and said it wasn't cracked or broken that they could see on that x-ray machine. But that is, it's a much better x-ray machine than they used to have in the Alpine Star rig, but it is not what you would get at a normal hospital. I'm curious if they did an MRI, what that thing looks like. Did he tear something? Did he crack the bone? It looked much worse than a Charlie horse in my view. I can't imagine that there's not something a little bit worse going on. With that said, what a gritty ride to go out there on that leg that is damaged. Go out there. He scored points and he made those mistakes, but those were uncharacteristic. Those were balance mistakes. One of the things that saves Hayden Deegan so much is his incredible balance on the bike. And when you take one leg out of the picture and then the other leg's having to compensate, he loses that weapon. That is something he has used to dominate. And we haven't seen these kind of mistakes from him since he was a rookie. And I 100% believe it had to do with the leg. Those were uncharacteristic mistakes. But he still has a huge point lead. No matter how bad that day was, he still has 38 points on the field. Let me just give you an example. So Joe Shimoda is in second place, 38 points behind. If he wins the remaining 8 motos in this series and Hayden Deegan gets second twice and third the rest of the times, he's still champion. So he's way in control of this thing. But if he compounds the mistakes by going out there on a bum leg and not having that balance that saves his ass, that could cost him this championship. And the other thing I'm looking at is Star Yamaha, you got some problems. Your bikes are not lasting. Whatever you're doing, tone them down. Tone them down and make sure these bikes survive the motos. The only thing that will keep Hayden Deegan from winning this title is an outright DNF or another injury, and that's something I'll be watching. Whenever you hurt one leg, the other leg compensates. How many times have you seen guys tear their ACL on their left leg and then they come back and hurt the right leg? Because the body naturally compensates. They got Millville, Washougal, then they have like a 2 or 3 week break after Washougal. I'll tell you what, if I was in Hayden Deegan's camp, I would be like, listen, get through the next 2 rounds with top 5 finishes. Do not worry. Do not go out there. Don't try and prove anything. Just get through these rounds. Then you get the break. And we'll continue to do rehab on this leg. And when you come back and feel better, go ahead and dominate. But until then, just close out this championship. Hayden Deegan's racing for legacy. Legacy is very important to him. He wants to be one of the all-time greats. This will be a problem on his all-time resume if he only has 1 outdoor championship. You really do need 2 if you want to be in that conversation for greatest of all time. And I'll tell you what, if he has the maturity to go out there and manage this thing, knowing that he's injured and leaving his ego back at the truck and managing 5th place, 3rd place, or whatever it takes to win this title, he's done it in the past. Can he do it again? That is another skill that is highly underestimated. There's so many guys who've gone out there trying to prove to the world how great they are, and they do something stupid. If Hayden can tone that down and just get through this championship, get that number 1 plate, that to me shows that he'll be more of a threat to Jet Lawrence than if he goes out there and just smashes everybody. I truly think having that racer IQ will make a big difference when he moves up to that 450. Because there will be days when he's going to have to take 2nd place to Jet Lawrence or whoever else. He's not going to win every single race. He's not going to be as dominant as he has been in the 250 class. So he's got to learn to go when he can and manage it when he can. Just like every other challenge, I think Hayden Deegan's going to rise to the occasion, but I really hope there's not anything that we find out when they get an MRI on that leg, that it's something that takes him out. That would be devastating to the series, to his title hopes, to the entire plan to get him into the 450 class. Yeah, that would suck. So I really, really hope that there's nothing major wrong with that leg. And like I said, we're not going to find out until they do an MRI. Knowing the Deegans, he probably doesn't want to get an MRI because he's afraid something might be wrong and he doesn't want to know about it. I could see that happening too. Check out Ride Strapped, goggles, glasses, shirts, and Chris has an awesome idea. This is one of the best marketing minds that I know. He's got an awesome idea for fans. He was excited that there was a Cooksey Media sign out there, and he's got some cool ideas. So I hope he can come through on those, and we're gonna have a Cooksey Media presence at a lot of the races. So thank you guys. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. This is a family-owned company that believes in customer service, reasonable pricing. They're just good people. So stop dealing with these janky shipping companies and go over to pretransport.com and check out their site. How about Jelique Swoll? This dude is awesome. So coming into the Supercross season, he was by far the fastest guy on Triumph, and he was coming into the Supercross series to win races. He wasn't just looking for podiums. Jelique Swoll was ready to make that jump to title contender. And as good as Jordan Smith was on the Triumph, heading into it, they all believed over there that Jelique was better and Jelique was going to make some noise. That was devastating to have that injury right before the series, but to see him come back from that devastating Achilles injury and put it on the box in 3 races, damn, don't doubt Jelique. I've done it in the past. He let me have it. I'll tell you what, I will never doubt Jelique Swoll again. This kid is special, and he's clearly proving to me that he is going to be the guy that's going to start winning races on Triumph. It's coming, and it's coming soon. How about Ryder DeFrancesco? Going out there, putting in 2 fast laps. He's finally starting to show that talent that we've known that he's had for a long time, but he's had a slow road. These guys who are, touted coming out of the amateurs, it's like people kind of want to see them fail. They're like, oh, they've had every opportunity and they still can't get it done. It's this weird thing where people want them to fail. I love that he's getting through that and he's overcoming all of that. Like, he had some bad injuries after Supercross. He came in, was riding really good, and the bike broke. It had nothing to do with him, and he had those nasty injuries that could have killed him. But to see him coming out there at Redbud, going fastest, and I'll tell you what, watch him at Millville. He's good at Redbud, but his best finish last year, he did better at Millville. So watch for Ryder D to be inside the top 5 and battling, maybe even for a podium at Millville. And how about Michael Mosiman finally getting back on the podium after Bobby Reagan told him he should retire a while ago? This is one of the most unique personalities in the sport. Dare I call him, he's weird. He's a little bit weird, but he embraces it. That's who he is. And I really like seeing Michael Mosiman. Man, he sure put Tom Vial over the berm. Damn, put him down. But I like seeing that out of Michael Mosiman. I want to see that fire. I want to see that guy that believes he can get back up, win races, get on the podium. And I don't think he faded that second moto. I think we're looking at another star bike issue because he's not a guy that has cardio issues or fades. I think something was going on and these guys are paranoid now. Now, anytime anything happens with that bike, they're like, oh no, is this happening again? And they back it down and try and save that motor. And I think that's what we saw in that second moto. I'm sure glad he still ended up on the overall podium because dude's riding the wheels off that thing. And if Star could figure these things out, he might get up there, win a race, and he'll be consistently on that podium. Great job, Michael Mosiman. And how about privateer Carson Manquist? I have watched him through the amateurs, arena cross, and just struggling to make this dream happen. It is a family effort over there. His dad, his mom, I think his brother, they're all involved in letting him live his dream. And to see him make it into the motos, I couldn't have been happier. And it's crazy to me that a privateer like Carson can go out there, make it into the top 40, which, I mean, you're one of the top 40 250 riders in the country, and you can get up there and battle. But after doing 2 full motos at Redbud, you don't even make enough money to compensate for the weekend. It's crazy. They are throwing thousands and thousands of dollars chasing that professional dream, but the only way to actually become profitable in this sport is to get up there into the top 10 where you get on a factory team. Those are the only guys making any money. And don't give me this whole, oh, it's a small sport, we're just happy that the promoters are able to put it on. No, they do a great job. They've done a great job with Peacock, the coverage is amazing. James Stewart's just the best in the booth. The track looks really good. They got all those sponsors. They have a ton of fans that are paying $100+ to watch the race. I wonder why the riders are not getting any of that money. It's absolutely crazy. I did a little research and looked at other professional sports, and professional by meaning you can make a living doing it. Other professional sports and what the promoters and what kind of profit sharing they have with their participants. And it's crazy. Out of all these sports, motocross was the worst. They give the least back to the riders. Now, I'm not talking about just paying or a specific random number. I'm talking about percentages. If the promoter doesn't make money, they shouldn't pay that much. But if the promoters are making a crap load of money, they should invest in their product. Could you imagine how great the series would be if Carson Manquist could make the show, and then once by making the show, he has enough money to get to the next round? Right now, they don't even cover that. It's not even close. But if you could make a living or just survive off getting in that top 40, we'd see guys like Carson chase this dream for 10, 15 years. And while they might not get rich, they at least wouldn't be completely broke, relying on their family to pay for everything. This isn't amateur racing. They are charging people to come watch you. You should get a piece of that. That's why I'm so vocal about this whole thing, is I want to see this turned into a true professional sport. And I want to see the riders and teams get profit sharing off of the media deal or ticket sales, something to where they can survive. The promoters come back with, you should just be happy that we put on this great race and give you a platform to show off your sponsors. Yeah, they're doing a good job. I can't deny that. I really like the product that they put out there, but they're just so damn greedy at the top. They just refuse to budge off that original business model. But thank you, Cooksey Mob. We had the sign over there on the podium. Great job. If we can make our voices loud enough, they will hear us. And that's the one thing that these guys really don't like, is they don't like anyone knowing that they're doing this to the riders. They want to be thanked for what they're doing. They don't want people saying, hey, wait a second, you're robbing us blind. And that does bother these promoters. And Kerry Coombs and Davey Coombs, they probably have an ulcer over that sign that was put up there. And I guarantee there'll be emails and meetings and how did this happen and how do we stop it this week? I guarantee it. But thank you guys. We're being heard, and I think if we can get loud enough, we can make change to this sport and help the teams, riders, and I want to help the promoters too, believe it or not. I want everybody to be healthy. And I'm not talking about some, socialist type plan. I'm talking about profit sharing for people who do the right amount of work. We pay to go see riders. We don't pay to go see the painted Redbud logo. We go to watch these riders and warriors do battle and chase the dream because we all love it. Those are the guys. I want to see them given market value for what they provide. But thank you, members, so much. I really appreciate it, especially you guys who've signed up on this channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I'm giving away stuff every single month. Last month, we gave away some Coach Rob stuff. This month, I'm going to give away some Nano Xtreme. And in December, we're giving away a new Power Sports XQi3 electric motorcycle. This is the most fun I've had riding a dirt bike since I was a little kid. I go out on these trails. I don't hit big jumps, but I love just hitting these little jumps and flowing, and it's such a good time. You guys, if you know what, if you don't win one, you should go buy one. They're $3,999, and it's the most fun per dollar that I've ever had. Thanks, guys. Here's your member of the day.
Let's start this off by saying, we got them. The illegal sale of American motorcycle racing. I present a case that reveals how the American Motorcyclist Association's 2008 sale of its racing properties constituted an illegal transfer of public trust into private hands. My name's B. Mazie, and I'm here to stir shit up. So I made a song for you guys. You know, it's crazy that the riders still gotta pay to race, even though these guys are just filling their pockets because they're money hungry, greedy, stupid mother, ex-circus owners, but still got the same mindset for the Supercross. Screw Feld, screw the AMA, and screw Rob Dingman. I'm reading your obituary. It says you died in 2008. I guess selling souls is a business, 'cause you gave it all away. But your cause of death was suspicious. Lord knows your soul was lost. I am just a witness, 'cause I know who killed motocross. 'Cause I know who killed motocross. This is the arraignment for NASCAR failed entertainment. I am just a witness, but I gotta make a statement. I speak for the people, 'cause we can't remain complacent. The illegals hell American motorcycle racing. The devil is a wingman, his name is Rob Dingman. He wanna kill the future of the moto kids in dreamland. How selfish do you gotta be? Treat us like cheap property. Package us up and sell the whole sport to a monopoly. This is very legal, they don't care about the people. It's like NASCAR and Jordan, man, this practice is deceitful. Private entities manipulating what we love. The DMG extorting the AMA, a bunch of thugs. This happened to Planet Fitness, the dark side of business. Rest in peace to motocross, 'cause I will never forget it. And I will never forget it. Right on. I'm reading your obituary. It says you died in 2008. I guess selling souls is a business, 'cause you gave it all away. But your cause of death was suspicious. Lord knows your soul was lost. I am just a witness, 'cause I know who killed